Hello friends, how's it going? Good to see you. Haven't taken you guys on a ride with me in a while, so welcome aboard. Happy that you're here. Today I'm just gonna briefly talk about when is it time to hang up the helmet? When is it time to kind of stop riding? A lot of things there to unpack. But I'm just thinking about it because a friend of mine was chatting with me through Instagram this morning, and he's contemplating hanging it up. He's done many trips throughout Europe, camping, and pretty much everything you could do with a motorcycle he's done in terms of touring and big rallies and all this stuff. So he's just considering, and so it started to get me to think about it. I'm not going to stop riding at this point, but there are days when I just think about why am I doing this, or it's just certain days your mood is off or you're just not into it. And we have to remember too, there's globally, let's break it down into two types of riders. There's people that buy scooters and motorcycles out of necessity because they're less expensive. The areas of the world they live in, the economy is not as good, so they don't have a lot of expendable income, and or where they live is very crowded and it's just easier to get around on a scooter or motorcycle for daily commute, as well as life and going to the grocery store and doing all the things you need to do for life. And then there's the other type of rider, which is the category that I'm in, which is toys. People that buy motorcycles. We just saw one there. For fun. I don't need a motorcycle. I have a car. And in America, most places, with the exception of, I'd say, maybe New York City, Boston to some degree, the big cities, maybe LA a little bit, not so much though, Chicago, but for the most part you need a car here. Everything is spread out and far away. We don't have, again, with the exception of New York City, we don't have anything in America that's similar to some of the Asian cities like Beijing or Shanghai or Tokyo or Taipei and Taiwan, or Philippines, where there's a huge mass of people living together tightly, and it's just easier to get around by walking, bicycle, subway, taxi, bus, or scooter. Those are would be the main sources of transportation for daily life in those areas. And I did live in Asia for a very long time, so I went actually for many years without a vehicle, without a car, but I did have a scooter, and I had a subway station near my house and taxis everywhere, so there was really no need to have a car. So again, here in North America, Europe, and a lot of other places, you don't really need to have one, so we have them for fun and toys. And I think my attraction to motorcycles started off when I was young. I was into motocross and BMX, so I used to get on my BMX bike, especially on the weekends or after school, and just disappear off into the woods, into the trails, doing tricks and racing and exploring. And it was just such a big part of my childhood. I just loved getting on the bike. So it was a lot to do with freedom, being able to explore and go out into the woods or go places you've never been before that's too far to walk, so you can take your bike and pedal out there, check things out, and just have fun. And this is what I do with my motorcycle. I just do a lot of exploring. I think the main reasons why I ride is, one, to ride with friends occasionally and enjoy the ride and camaraderie, and just talking on the comms and laughing and having fun while we're riding out to breakfast or whatever. The other reason I ride is for wind therapy, kind of a moving meditation, if you will. Just get out, be in the moment. Everything else in your mind just kind of melts away, and you just focus on riding and your environment around you. That really helps declutter your mind. And you really, when you're riding a motorcycle, you should be focused on one thing, and that's riding. Right now I'm multitasking, doing the moto vlog, but I'm not going too crazy here on the throttle. But that's what I like to say, like moving with a purpose or meditation, wind therapy. It's just great for your mood, and I like to do that alone. You know, I get on the bike and just head out like I am right now, and enjoy the scenery. On days like this, I don't use my quick shifter at all because I want to enjoy the ride. I use the clutch and go through the gears smoothly, and it's a beautiful day out. The other thing I ride is, you know, some occasionally I do ride with a purpose, like I go somewhere, you know, go to the grocery store, grab some milk as a route, or, you know, use an excuse to get on the bike and go for a quick ride and have a little bit of fun. Let me know what your thoughts are on these, if you have other reasons, but I'm interested to hear everyone's thoughts on this, or people that maybe have stopped riding and are watching this. You know, why did you stop? And that'd be interesting to learn. But another one I think is the fire in the belly, I guess I would call it. Just that part of riding, like the moving meditation, the wind therapy, the exploring, all that kind of goes away for you, and you're just not into it anymore. You know, just taking a ride on a motorcycle, and then you get back and you think to yourself, well, you know, I just wasted like $5 in gas, and I don't know, it's just bored. You know, that kind of boredom or detachment from motorcycling wouldn't be fixed by getting a new bike or anything else. It just, you know, game over. I just want to do something else. So for me, I recently haven't been riding that much because of weather. There's a lot of big rainstorms recently. We've been getting a lot of rain this year. And also the heat. Last week it was pretty much 100 degrees or more every day. So like right now it's 98 degrees. It's hot, I'm sweating, but it's not too bad. I'm used to it. But once it gets into the, you know, 103, 105, if you're moving, it's okay. But if you're going through an area where you got a lot of stop signs and red lights, it can get really brutal. It's too hot. And the other reason I haven't been riding much is I've had other things to do. I've had work things, family things, and to be quite honest, that kind of fire thing has diminished. I don't know. It just, before I would ride 4 or 5 times a week, and now I'm riding maybe twice a week, if that, once a week maybe. Right now I'm happy I'm riding. It's fun, and it's I'm getting that kind of meditative. Before, I've been riding already for over an hour before I turned the camera on, so I've had a nice relaxing ride, and it is a beautiful day. So going back to the necessity riders, it's funny, you know, I don't know if people think about it too much, or if they've never been in those regions of the world. People don't wave at each other when you drive by. It's, you know, again, it's a necessity vehicle. It's getting me from point A to point B. There's nothing special about it. So people don't wave to each other or do the 2 fingers down or any of that stuff. And there's no, you know, scooter meetups. People don't meet up on the weekends in a parking lot to talk about their scooters. So that's another aspect of, you know, motorcycle life that's much different in other parts of the world. So, you know, here, of course, we have tons of bike meetups and rallies and all kinds of things to get together and exchange motorcycle stories, share knowledge, meet new people. I think that's probably, for me anyways, that's the most fun part. I could always see motorcycles online if I want, and it's fun seeing them in person, and sometimes people do have unique motorcycles they've customized, but I think just meeting the people part is the fun part. You get to, you know, you get to meet a lot of diverse people. And I've met a lot of friends at these rallies that I've been friends with now for years. So that's another unique part of it. I have met some riders that have a motorcycle and they never go to rallies, they never go to bike meetups, they don't go touring, they ride by themselves. So I can see that getting, for me, that would get boring. I do like riding by myself, like today's perfect example. I don't want to ride with anybody today. I just want to ride by myself and enjoy the ride, make this little, you know, vlog with you guys. But you know, on the weekend, next weekend, maybe I'm gonna want to, you know, ride with some buds, go have breakfast, and then maybe that same week or the next week, just maybe a couple bike meetups I'd like to go to and say hi to some friends. So I try to mix it up as best I can, but I can see, you know, there'll be a point in my life where financially I'm just going to start looking at it and saying like, oh, I'm just wasting gas and I've got other things to do with my life, and you know, the motorcycle kind of just fades into the background. And you know, the older you get, reaction time and vision and, you know, your faculties start to wane, eyesight, muscle strength, being able to keep the bike up, especially if you have a big bike. Earlier I had mentioned, you know, a friend of mine was talking to me about this morning, and it got me thinking about it. But in his case, it was kind of like a light switch, it seems. Like we didn't get in because we were just doing messages on Instagram. But it seemed like for him it was kind of just like a light switch. It just, a few things aligned in his life and it just went boop, you know, I'm done. It wasn't like a long process of thinking like, yeah, the bike's getting a little heavy, or this is happening, or that's happening, or I know some other guys I've talked to, it was a longer process. Their eyesight started going a little bit. You know, they were getting into their late 70s. Their legs weren't as strong. And it was a gradual process of them kind of hanging up the helmet. But I don't know, that's it. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this ride. But just let me know what your thoughts are on this. Where are you in your motorcycle life? Are you, you know, 20 years old still? Are you 70? What spectrum? How many years? Have you thought about it? You know, ending your motorcycle career, if you will. Okay, let me get over here. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna go down. I'll probably bring you down here if you want to hang out just for another few minutes. I'm gonna go down to this restaurant right on the river. I just want to see what the river looks like with all this excess water that we've got here in Austin. And it's a nice little road. So maybe I'll just do a quick hyperloop or hyper speed, bring you guys with me. Oh, there's a little coyote just ran out in front of me. I don't know if you could I saw that. I had the camera on. I'll have to see in editing if I can catch that little guy. That's the thing that scares me out here always. It's critters. I've had so many different animals jump out in front of me, and luckily I have not really hit one yet. Knock on wood. Ooh, wow, this is really crowded. So I'm gonna go down here, see if I can park somewhere down in here. Alright. So we're here. This is called Ski Shores Cafe, I believe. But let me get all my gear off. I'll take you inside. We'll walk around a little bit. This is pretty cool. You can pull your boat. Not that I have one, but you can pull your boat right up to this restaurant and hang out, get something to eat. Alright, see you in a bit. Okay, there's the bike. And there's the boats. Alright, so let's go check this out. I don't know how much filming I can do in here because there's people everywhere. They probably won't be happy with me filming them. I'll go up to the water's edge. So this is the restaurant right here on the left. And here's their boat dock right here. All right, friends, well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that little ride with me, and please do comment below your thoughts on, you know, when it's time to hang up the helmet for a variety of reasons. If you've done it already, let me know why. That'd be really interesting. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for joining me. Subscribe, thumbs up, share, like, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time. Later.